Since the Wii U and 3DS days, we have gotten paid additional content ranging from extra tracks and characters like in Mario Kart 8, Wii U, and Switch, to full additional story modes like Splatoon 2 and 3. First of all, we have to see why make a DLC in the first place. There are 3 reasons to want to make a DLC. The first one is that they released an unfinished game and use DLC to finish, therefore making more money. The second reason has similar intentions to the first reason, because they just want extra money out of a finished game, but it doesn't add anything too big. The third reason is because they actually still got some smaller ideas that they got after finishing the game, but not enough to make another game out of it. There's also 2 types of DLC. This part also goes with the reasons to make a DLC. The first type is a DLC that adds things to the game that makes the base game feel incomplete. If you don't have that DLC, then you are missing out on the best aspects of the game. The second type is the DLC that complements the game. It's an experience that you don't need to be able to enjoy the game. You are not missing out on anything. For this video, we will only be looking at paid DLC in Nintendo games. The first DLC we will be seeing is Mario Kart 8's DLC on Wii U. Mario Kart 8's DLC came in 2 packs, the first one releasing November 13th of 2014 for €8. The second pack released April 23rd, 2015 for €7. Additionally, you could purchase a bundle with both packs for €11. For one of the first paid DLCs, the price is pretty low, even though the quality is even sometimes better than the base game. In my opinion, I think it's one of the most worthwhile DLCs if Mario Kart 8 Deluxe didn't exist. The low price makes it very accessible, but even without the DLC, you are playing a very complete game, outside of battle mode of course. In the present day, you cannot get it anymore, but I think it's worth it if you don't count on getting the deluxe version. Moving on to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild's DLC that released in 2 packs. The first one releasing June 30th, 2017. The second pack releasing December 7th, 2017. The bundle is €20, much more expensive than the previous, but this DLC is so big that I think its price is fine. I do have one problem with this DLC though. It adds so much help, like the Korok Mask and Majora's Mask. The DLC story elements add about 30 hours of extra gameplay. That's over half of the base game. Everything they added should have gone to Tears of the Kingdom, but most of those DLC elements are just gone. Why add all this to throw it out of the window on the sequel? It's just stupid. Anyway, I guess it's worth it, and if you don't have it, then you are missing out on very fun challenges. Next, we will be looking at both Pokemon DLCs on Switch. I've not really experienced these, so I don't have much to say about them. I want to start by saying that the pricing for these is absurd. €35 is way too much for a game that looks rushed and incomplete that is already full price. Worst of all, the DLC doesn't even fix most problems with the game. For Pokemon Sword and Shield, it's still a bit better, with better pricing, but for Violet and Scarlet, it's not worth it at all. I know this part was short, but next we have the Smash Bros. Series, where the DLCs for Wii U and 3DS and Switch have the same type of content added, just extra characters and stages, and I guess you can count the Mii outfits. The price is once again horrible. On Wii U or 3DS alone is €35, and for the 3DS and Wii U together, it's €42. You get 7 fighters, 3 third-party stages, and returning stages. What's worse is that on Ultimate, it's 2 packs that are €25 each, so for everything, it's €50. They added characters and stages once again, but here's the biggest problem. These DLC characters are the meta in the competitive play, which makes it very frustrating to not be able to practice against the characters. And also, it's just too expensive for what it is. I don't feel like it's really worth it unless you really want to compete at a high level. Last but not least, we will be seeing the Splatoon DLC from 2 and 3, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC is not really worth talking about. Starting off, the pricing is much better. €20 for Octo Expansion and €25 for Side Order and the older hubs. Both DLCs add a story mode that is mostly better than the base one, because they had more time to work on it. So if you are playing solo all the time, then first of all, why do you even play Splatoon? And second of all, you need these DLCs. But if you play online like most people, then it's completely optional, because the weapons and gear you unlock for online play is just basic reskins of existing weapons and gear, so you aren't really missing out on much, except very fun offline play. I say that these DLCs are very worth it, but even if you can't get it, then you aren't really missing out. Now, to answer the question at the start of the video, are Nintendo paid DLCs worth it? And I'd say mostly they are. The content is completely optional and most times it doesn't affect the base experience. But if I missed some very important DLCs other than Mario Kart 8 Deluxes, then tell me in the comments. I would like to know if I missed any.